Thomas Paine, Thomas Paine, Thomas Paine, Sam Adams, Sam Adams, Sam Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Benjamin Franklin, Benjamin Franklin. These men spoke up for what they thought was right. From their courage came such documents as the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States. From their willingness to speak what was sometimes unpopular but right, we enjoy such liberties as freedom of speech, the right to keep and bear arms, and freedom of religion. There are those who still wish to oppress our freedoms, and there are still patriots willing to stand up and defend life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Men like Zeb Bell, who honor our founding fathers and what they stood for. It's now time for Zeb at the ranch, speaking up and defending your freedoms. Brought to you by Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers and all of the other great advertisers on the program. And now, Zeb Bell.
We always try to help, and these are words of wisdom that we should all live by. Never, never take a sleeping pill and a laxative on the same night. Good morning, everybody. Here comes Kate Smith, and God bless America. Followed by a patriot this morning with our Pledge of Allegiance. Good morning, good morning. And a good morning to you. Zeb at the Ranch, I'm Zeb Bell, and thank you for tuning in, along with our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations serving you with a great big fall tire sale going on right now. And, of course, don't forget some of our major advertisers like Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley, helping you get back to being you. Right now, let's go to the phone line and have our Pledge of Allegiance. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
My friend.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Doug, thank you, and I know you're going to call back a little later, so appreciate it. Great way to start a Thursday morning. Thank you, sir. All right. Hey, it's time for the weather, and I tell you, it's going to be beautiful. I just got a feeling she's going to have a great forecast. Gina will be here in just a second. Right now, K&R Rental brings you the weather at 256 South, 600 west of Heyburn. Right there. You couldn't miss them if you wanted to. They're right on the Burley-Paul Highway. Easy to find. And the number's 678-3122. Now, they've got the best of tools and equipment for rental, and they absolutely have both long and short-term rental, all the tillers, and they've got all the excavators, and don't forget, they've got the compressors to blow out those sprinkler lines. You've got a lot of things to do before winter sets in. Hate to talk about that, but it's true. Stop over there at K&R Rental or give them a call if you're not sure what you need, 678-3122. K&R Rental, and right now here's Gina with the weather.
Looks like another fine day in the valley as we make our way through the work week. Here's a look at your weather forecast. Expecting sunny skies and a high of 66. Winds are going to be light and variable out of the west, right around 6 miles an hour. Tonight, nice and clear with a low of 34. Tomorrow, as we kick off the weekend, sunny skies, high of 67. Winds out of the south-southwest, right around 6 miles an hour. Clear skies for Friday night with a low of 33. Saturday, going to be the best day. Expecting sunny skies, high of 70, overnight low of 38. Sunday, mostly sunny skies with a high of 68. Now, Sunday evening, clouds are going to be rolling in, expecting a low of 41. And for Monday, we do have a 20% chance of showers in the morning, partly sunny skies with a high of 67. That could carry over for Monday night as well, with a low right around 38. That's a look at your weather forecast for Zeb at the Ranch.
Gina, thank you very much, and brought to everybody by K&R Rental, Roger and the crew over there on the Burley-Paul Highway. And, of course, you give them a call about any and all the rental equipment and tools that you need, 678-3122, or stop in at 256 South, 600 west of Heyburn, K&R Rental. Right now, Merv May, come on in here, please.
All right, he gets it. the steer calves, they're here to get all 31, 1.5, 31, 1.5, and 32, 2.5, 3.
Oh, that's the chant of the world's best doggone auctioneer, Merv May, over at the Burley Livestock Sale Yard. Yep, sale today at 10 o'clock at 1100 Occidental Avenue in Burley. Number to call for cattle consignments and sale information, 678-9411. Merv May, Cade Rogge, Lance Udy, the sale that works for you. Here's just a partial list of some of the cattle going through the ring today. Boy, it's going to be a ripping good sale with a lot of good calves. And we've got Bill Wickel up at Connor Creek. Hello, Bill, bringing down 260 head of calves. We've got Bob Park out at Malda. Another great family, 70 head of calves coming in. Bart Wilson over to Filer, 35 head of calves. And Barry Whiting over at Rupert, 40 head of calves. Slash T Ranch out of Portage, Utah, 85 head of calves. And the Windy Wheat Ranch out of Rockland, 75 head of calves. Along with butcher cows coming in from the dairies of Acme, Antelope Hills, Funk, and TLK, along with P-Bar S. Sale time, 10 o'clock this morning at the Burley Livestock Sale Yard, 1100 Occidental Avenue in Burley, 678-9411. Merv, sell those steers.
All right, it gets the steer calves, they're here to get all 31, 1.5, 31, 1.5, and 32, 2.5, 3.5, 134, 4.5, and 5.5, 130, 550, 135, and selling $1.35. Zeb Bell gets bottom again.
Oh, I'll tell you what, nice price. Appreciate it, Merv. Thank you very much. Beautiful day outside. And I want to remind everybody that Ramsey Heating and Electric at 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley, all your heating, cooling, and electrical needs. You know, they've been in business for over 6 decades. Wow. I mean, that in itself deserves them a lot of accolades and praise because, man, that's amazing. They've had all your heating, cooling, and electrical needs, the best of people serving you for all that time, and they continue. Ramsey Heating and Electric at 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley, open 7:30 to 5 Monday through Friday, and the number to call 678-0459. Next week on Thursday. Now, next week on Thursday is a big day. It is going to be our Halloween special, and it's going to be over at Denny's Restaurant for our Zeb's Lunch Bunch. And I want to thank Stoats Equipment Company. I want to thank Lee's Furniture. And I want to thank Tires West. They've given some prizes to the best Halloween costumes and the best Halloween mask. It's great to have people get involved and have a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun next Thursday at Denny's Restaurant, 611 North Overland in Burley. And, of course, breakfast, lunch, dinner, anytime, all the time, the best of menu choices, and really nice people serving you at America's Diner, Denny's Restaurant, 611 North Overland in Burley, and another location at 291 Pole Line Road in Twin Falls. Denny's Restaurant serving you. Really nice people. Wow, we have got a great program this morning. We've got our chamber report, Cassia Regional Hospital, and at 10:30 this morning, a lady that I have the utmost respect for. She is a doctor in Atlanta, Georgia, and she's been on our program many, many times in the past talking about the idiocies of Obamacare and now with the Democrats trying to push for single payer, and that's Dr. Elena George, and she's a straight shooter, very straight shooter, and we're looking forward to having her on the program this morning. So, calls are welcome at 436-2244. Excuse me. And, of course, our watch line number, 1-866-927-4587. I hope you'll give me a call. I want to hear from you. Going to talk about the march on our borders in just a moment. District 25 State Senator Jim Patrick says thank you for all the people that have supported him in the past, and he appreciates you, and he wants to continue working for you, and he will too. Jim Patrick has encouraged everyone to get out and vote November 6th. We've got some very, very important issues to decide. Proposition 1, Proposition 2, along with some very important people. So please vote on November 6th. Don't forget, no excuses. And this paid for by Jim Patrick, District 25 Senator. Caller, good morning, and thank you for your call.
Yeah, yes, good morning, Zeb. If the Democrats should get a foothold here in November 6th, that could be another doomsday for America. All these people that are being sold a bill of goods by the Democratic Party, all they have to do is look at what is happening in Cuba. The Castro family down there, they're eating the best of foods, they're living in the best of conditions, they're the best wine, the best cigars, and everything else. The people out on the street are driving old, beat-up cars. They're not getting the best of food. And this is what could happen right here in this country if the Democrats really get what they want out of this next election.
Tony, I'm absolutely stumped. I really am stumped. I cannot figure out why and how anyone could want to put back into power the Feinsteins and the Pelosi's, especially Pelosi as possibly Speaker of the House. I'm at a loss. I cannot understand how anybody could vote on the left side of the ballot for any Democrat, because they're going to lead us right straight down the path to ruin with higher taxes, single-payer health insurance, which they've pushed for years. They don't want to have anything except complete control over the American public.
Oh, absolutely. The younger generation starting out in kindergarten are being programmed about how great socialism and communism is. But they haven't had a taste of it yet, and they won't get a taste of it until it should happen or could happen in this country. Then it's too late to turn back.
This is what makes me so afraid, is that people, younger people, and naive and, quite frankly, stupid people have no idea how insidious the changes are. The revamping or perhaps discarding of our Constitution, getting rid of it, and absolutely taking away more freedoms and rights. I mean, man, I'm really afraid. I really am, and I'm urging everybody I talk to get out and vote on November 6th.
Well, the only ones that'll gain from it are the ones that are pushing it, like Cortez and Bernie Sanders and the rest of them. And the people, the stupid people who vote for them, will be doing all the suffering, and there's no turning back.
I agree with you, Tony, and you are a very wise sage, and you've been here a little bit longer than I have, and you've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly in the past, and I'm afraid the ugly is starting to rear its ugly head again.
Oh, God forbid.
Yes, thank you for your call. Thank you, Tony.
Okay, you're welcome.
All right, buddy. Thanks a lot. He's right. We got a lot to be fearful of, and we're going to be going through some stories here in just a minute I want to get your opinion on. Don't forget Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation. Hello, Nick Greenwell and the entire staff. Wow, of absolutely professional, the best physical therapists. My goodness, they know all the exercises. They know everything about how to get you back to being you at Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley. The number to call, 678-1191. Now, I urge you to do this, whether you're recouping from an accident, an injury, or maybe some surgery, whatever the case might be. Please call that number, 678-1191. They really care. They really help. Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation, and their address, 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley. Don't forget, on Tuesdays, we have some wonderful friends of ours at Stotz Equipment Company. They've got the Ag Minutes at 9:46 on Tuesdays. Stotz Equipment Company, your John Deere dealer at 119 Overland in Burley. Oh, my goodness sakes, they make your life easier. I don't care if you've got a small horse operation or if you've got a great big farm, whatever. You stop in, give them a call. They can help. They will help at Stotz Equipment Company, 119 Overland in Burley. Yep, they make your life easier. Your John Deere dealer. All right, give me a call, 436-2244. The violence and physical attacks on Republicans, it's happening all across the United States. Are you hearing any of it on the news? Are you hearing anything about it on CNN, MSNBC? No, you're not. And there are people hitting women. There are people going up and blindsiding people that are members of the GOP party, assistants and aides and helpers and people that run some of the polling places. And one guy got punched in the head and knocked unconscious with a concussion. And the left is getting more violent every day. In California, congressional candidate Rudy Peters, who is challenging Democratic Representative Eric Swalwell, there was an attempt on his life with a switchblade. And let's see, this happened, I believe, I'm trying to find the location. There was a Democratic operative allegedly assaulting a female Trump staffer, knocked her down, and hit her. That same person later on allegedly assaults a female GOP campaign manager and hit her. In Wyoming, the GOP office was set on fire. In Nebraska, they stood outside and threw bricks through the window. I mean, the list goes on and on. And the left is becoming ever increasingly dangerous. Where are, and this is a question I want somebody to answer this morning, where are the Democrat so-called leaders that are going to come out with a condemnation of the violence, the potential violence that's going on in this country? Where is Chuck Schumer, supposed to be a great family man? Where is he? He doesn't say a word about all this violence. Where's Nancy Pelosi? Where is Nancy Pelosi? What planet does she live on? How about Feinstein, Hillary, Waters, the rest of them? All despicably quiet. As a matter of fact, in Waters' case, she's not quiet. She's calling for more of this insurrection. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning. It's the yummy man with good news about lunch at the Senior Junction on South Overland in Burley today. We're having some kind of an egg bar. The important thing is we're having Texas chocolate cake.
Woo! Okay.
I invite everybody to come out and support the Senior Center. We need your help.
What is Texas chocolate cake?
I don't know. I'll report to you on Monday when it was.
But it's going to be yummy, right?
That's right.
Okay. Well, you just eat a great big piece of that Texas chocolate cake, and we'll send everybody over to the Senior Junction. Joe Taylor, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right.
Appreciate you.
All right, buddy. Thanks a lot. Well, in Texas, everything's big, so you're going to get a big slice of Texas chocolate cake. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Where are people of decency on the left? I know they're hard to find, but where are people of decency saying enough? Whoa, stop, cease. No more of this violence. No more of these attacks. No more surrounding people in a restaurant. No more throwing bricks. No more throwing punches. Where are they? Where are they? Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Zeb. You know, on our governor race, why doesn't TVs spend more time trying to promote this one way or the other? They're not being biased that I know of, but you just don't hear anything about it.
Wait a minute. Are you switching subjects on me? Wait a minute, Keith. Are you switching subjects on me and you're talking about our governor race here?
No, I'm just talking about how the Democrats are trying to run this country.
Well, you lost me as far as what are you talking about? The media is not giving what kind of information? Explain that.
Well, I don't think they're getting the information to the people. The TV, in the state of Idaho, our TV stations don't seem to lean one way or the other, but they don't report much on what's going on. How close it is and what we got.
Well, how close what is? You're not being definitive. I'm not understanding what you're talking about. How close what is? What race? Who are you talking about?
Well, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about.
No, I'm asking because you're not defining what you're asking about.
Well, like this debate for the governors here just the other day, I didn't even know anything about it. There was no forewarning that it was coming on or anything. So how are we to be informed?
Okay, now I see where you're headed, and yes, you did switch subjects on me. This situation with Brad Little and Paulette Jordan, I mean, with all the different things that are coming out in the news about Paulette Jordan, little things like this morning's headline, Paulette Jordan pays $20,000 to a Wyoming company. Well, why did she pay $20,000 to a Wyoming company? Why isn't there more transparency? This woman, absolutely on the Democratic side of the ticket this year, I think is going to go down in one of the worst defeats ever in the history of Idaho politics. And the reason being she is an unqualified, unwanted candidate.
Well, I certainly agree with you there, but we really don't know that much about her, except every time she talks, she puts her foot in her mouth.
And does it well.
And she does it very well.
Yes.
Sure.
No, I guess maybe I've got a lot of animosity against her campaign, the people that work for her. They seem to have a wall built around her campaign. They seem to have kind of a cloak and dagger attitude of, ooh, he might be right wing on his talk show, which I am, but we don't want to have anything to do with him. And it's hard to break that eggshell and get information. I know what you're talking about.
She is a Democrat through and through. And not only a Democrat, but a very much a socialist.
Well, some of her policies I can never accept or adhere to, and I don't like the tie that has been made with her and Alexandria Cortez and others of a ilk that bend towards socialism. I don't want anything to do with that.
The trouble with our Democratic Party is, excuse me, every time you turn around, they're yelling at you.
Yeah.
You know, they're trying to intimidate you by a lot of noise and a lot of violence.
Well, this is only going to get worse, and I've got some other stories I want to get into in regards to that. But, Keith, thank you for your call this morning. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thanks. All right, sir. I want to remind you there is going to be a really, really special feeder cattle sale this Saturday. I mean, day after tomorrow, and it's going to be at Producers Livestock in Jerome. Now, this is a special feeder cattle sale for choice cattle only. There's not going to be any dairy or dairy cross cattle. No. This sale is going to start on Saturday at 12 noon, high noon, and for consignments and more information about this sale, contact Dan Schiffler at 539-4933. That number again, 539-4933, or call Producers Livestock at 324-4345. Remember, that's a special feeder cattle sale this Saturday at Producers Livestock in Jerome. Don't miss it. Calls are welcome and appreciated. 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. I asked the question why there isn't any condemnation of the violence and the ill will that's being spread around right now. If it takes a meeting of the minds, which sometimes in politics it's hard to find minds, but it's got to be done. this thing is getting completely out of hand. And another situation that's going to get completely out of hand, and I don't know what your thoughts are on this, but I'll tell you what, I am supporting President Trump. I'll come right out and say it, that this caravan coming up from Central America, Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, etc., now they estimate the numbers have blossomed and bloomed to about 4,000 people plus. And they're going to be coming up through Mexico. Hopefully there will be some stoppage. I don't know if there will be. But the border right now, with the increased number of illegal entries, has increased over the last couple of days. And then with this caravan coming up from Central America with 4,000, it's a stick in the eye to America. And it's got to be stopped. It has to be closed. President Trump has come out and stated that he has informed the countries of Honduras, Guatemala, and El Salvador that if they allow their citizens or others to journey through their borders and up to the United States with the intention of entering our country illegally, all payments made to them will stop. And President Trump has also said this morning that he is very much considering the fact of using military force on the border to turn them back. Now, for the bleeding heart liberals out in our audience that are going to cry and say, oh, he can't do that, why, these people, they need help. No, I don't believe that at all. The illegal border crossings are increasing. It needs to be closed. Our Border Patrol agents are being injured almost daily. And I heard a story this morning at 4:30 that really sickened me. A lot of the illegals are using fishing rods and reels. Hold on, caller. Let me finish my point, please. A lot of the illegal aliens are using fishing rods and reels. And you know how? They're throwing out towards the Border Patrol agents on the border with treble hooks on the line and trying to snag them on the face, on the shoulders, on the arms. And many have been injured by being snagged by these hooks. This is disgusting. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Well, there's one way to stop those fishing hooks from flying at you. Just throw a little lead their direction.
You know something, Doug, I'm almost to the point on this program. I know I got really teed off yesterday over a phone call that making an accusation that didn't have a bucket without a hole in it. But, you know, I'm getting sick and tired of what's going on in this country. And I'm just going to ask you one simple question. With all the people that the Democrats and the left want to bring in here at our expense, why should you, Doug Martin, and why should I, Zeb Bell, why should we pay our taxes to support that?
Well, we shouldn't. We should hold them accountable, and it seems like every 2, 4, and 6 years, somehow they lie enough to convince the uneducated voter to vote for them. And that's where we should take care of this at, is at the voter booth. But it seems like somehow, some way, they're able to get reelected, like that Maxine Waters and Nancy Pelosi saying that building that wall is a manhood thing.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, I want to ask her if it's a womanhood thing that she has a wall around her estate in San Francisco.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah, but let me ask you this, though. If you've got the American public that are legal, honest citizens living here, like you and me, okay, in my audience, why should we keep paying our taxes and allow another huge segment of our society, they estimate close to 30 million illegal aliens here, why should we keep letting these people in and we're paying taxes, they're not, and welcome more in, like these 4,000 that are coming up from Honduras, etc.? Why should we keep paying to have our money go to fund them?
Well, the reason they're wanting them in, and we shouldn't pay our taxes to fund them. I agree with you 100% there. But the reason the left and the Democrats are pushing for open borders is the black vote, I mean, big time.
Yeah.
The black people that support President Trump has risen about 15% or 20% since he took office. And the Democrats are scared. I mean, they're scared, so they're pulling out all the stops. And when you've got someone scared and backed in a corner, they'll do about anything to fight to get out of that.
Well, let's just talk a little bit about this situation with Central America. You know, I can't believe the condemnation of President Trump from the left, the Schumers and the Dick Durbins and the rest of these sleazy left people, criticizing him for his statement saying, look, if they come up and try to force their way into this country, I'm going to use the military to turn them back. Can you tell me any other country that wouldn't?
Well, first off, they need to read the Constitution and what the president can do to protect this country.
Absolutely, you and I.
That's considered an invasion.
That's exactly right.
And if he needs to use military force to stop an invasion, he can do that without Congress or Senate's approval.
I just don't understand why, and Wheels, we got a little feedback on the line, please. I just don't understand why the American public isn't absolutely going bonkers over this situation, yelling and screaming at their congressmen and senators and saying in not too pleasant terms, what in the world are you people not doing?
Exactly. And when the conservatives are, but the liberals, the one that watch CNN and MSNBC and ABC and all those left-wing mainstream media, they're not hearing the truth. They are hearing other things, that President Trump is wanting to abolish Social Security. President Trump is wanting to take away Medicare.
Yeah.
I mean, my wife had a friend, and she's a liberal, and she was complaining to my wife the other day, and that's what she was saying. And my wife says, where are you hearing this? What's on NBC? NBC. And she says, well, you need to find out the facts. That is not true.
I'm really worried. I'll give you a quick example, and then I've got to do a bunch of commercials, so loosen here in just a minute. I'm really worried about the Democrats taking over in this next election, and I'll tell you why. There was a story earlier this morning, perhaps you heard it, maybe you didn't, that if they regain the power, and it kind of leaked out, that Dianne Feinstein, senator from California, has already made some statements and preparation. If they regain the House, they're going to go, and she's not a member of the House, I said she's a senator, but with that power that could be bestowed upon them, she is going to try to reinvent the wheel against Brett Kavanaugh and really seek impeachment against his appointment to the Supreme Court.
Yes, yeah. If you'd listened to any of the commentators last night, they were talking, and they were naming the Democrats that would be ahead of the Finance Committee, and the shift is going to move up into I can't think of the guy's name, that California representative, move up into his spot for the going after.
Well, he would try to take over Devin Nunes' spot.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, but you know, I think we're going to have a big red tsunami. I don't think we're going to have a blue wave. I think it's just like Tidy Bowl going down the toilet.
Well, I hope that the blue wave is nothing more than a leaky toilet, honestly. But I've got to run, man. I'm way late. Thank you.
Okay. I got a real quick deal with the senior center, and then...
Real fast, Doug. Real fast. Go ahead.
Well, everybody, let's do what we can for our seniors. You know, they've built this country, so let's take care of them. And then I'll talk to you Monday on Lunch Bunch and the party deal.
Okay, if you would, because I'm about 10 minutes late already and time is wasted. I got to run. Thanks an awful lot. Don't forget, Senator Kelly Anthon, District 27 State Senator, urges you to go vote on November 6th. Kelly, of course, has been representing the Mini-Cassia area and standing up for conservative principles and values. He wants you to be very well informed about what's happening during during this election, who's on the ballot, and who you should vote for, and also study and know the Propositions 1 and 2. He knows the issues and wants to keep continuing serving you, Legislative District 27 Senator Kelly Anthon, paid for by District 27 Senator Kelly Anthon. Want to remind you, too, about our friends at Berry Equipment and Rental. Oh, my goodness sakes, yeah, they get there in the morning and they open the doors and they have people coming by and saying we need to rent a Bobcat, or maybe we want to buy a Bobcat, or maybe we need to rent some of that big Doosan equipment. Oh, my goodness, they've got all of it right there at 159 West Highway 30 in Burley with Juan, 465 Addison Avenue West in Twin Falls with Eli, and the Nampa location. Wow. Equipment rentals, retail equipment sales, all of it right there for you. And if you're not sure how to run the equipment, don't be embarrassed. I don't. Man, and when I run it, I'm going to have a lesson. They got a big sandbox out behind, and they'll teach you. Absolutely. Great people at Berry Equipment and Rental, Burley, Twin Falls, and Nampa. You stop in and see those good folks today. One other note, I also want to acknowledge our dear friends at Ark Animal Hospital. You know, if you're going to have pets, if you're going to have livestock, there's going to be some sickness, there's going to be an injury or whatever. Well, you want the best working for you and serving your pets and livestock. And that's Ark Animal Hospital at 750 21st Street near Connection Credit Union in Heyburn. Please remember Dr. Bill, Dr. Jordan, the whole staff, they are committed to serving your pets and keep them healthy, along with all your livestock. Whether, like I always say, whether you got a little bitty kitty cat or a whole bunch of dairy cattle, they are there to serve you. Ark Animal Hospital, 678-1177. They have the warm hearts for the cold noses. All right, calls welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Hey, did you hear, this is the craziest story I've heard in a long time. Did you hear that now members of the Hollywood set, the Loonies, some of the actresses are coming out against Walt Disney's old cartoon Snow White and Cinderella. And some of the actresses have said, I'd never let those films be shown in my house, not to my children. Why? Why? Because right now, with the Me Too movement being carried way out of bounds, one of the actresses came out and said that in the cartoon movie of Snow White, when the prince went up and kissed her, that was a crime because he had not asked permission. Oh, heaven help us all. Ay, ay, ay. My grandmother used to say. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Good morning. You know, the loonies out there, and that's what they are. I mean, they're basically all falling for, we haven't heard the word Saul Alinsky for a while, but if you look at his book, Rules for Radicals, Saul Alinsky was a communist, and he dedicated his book, to Lucifer, Satan. And, of course, his rules include what you just talked about, destroying all kinds of our Christian faith, our culture, and he wants to transform America from a constitutional republic to, become some kind of socialist communist country. And, of course, Obama quoted from him often, and Hillary Clinton did her thesis on Alinsky. And so you have to realize that the Democratic platform basically is Saul Alinsky's Rules for Radicals.
Absolutely. Yep, it's going to get worse before... It's going to get worse as we lead up to this election, but then also, quick comment, because I got a weather forecast, Adrian, but if the Democrats don't get their blue wave in November, wow, I think we're going to see utter chaos leading up to the 2020 elections.
Well, you're right, and if you think, one of the things that's going to come up before the legislature again is, for Idaho to call, state of Idaho to call for a constitutional convention and call it Conference of States. It's the same thing, but, if you can imagine what that would be like, it would be the Kavanaugh confirmation on steroids. I mean, you'd have all of these loony groups out there, radicals from all sorts, and the uninformed that know nothing about our Constitution, meaning a lot of the millennials that have gone through our public and up higher education systems, they have no comprehension of what our country really is, the freedoms that we take for granted. But,
I agree.
It's just really sad, but we need to realize voting for a Democrat, you're voting for gun control, abortion, open borders, illegal immigration.
And much higher taxes.
And taxes.
Yeah.
Obviously you're going to have control of education, and you're going to have the Obamacare, of course, is going to stick around.
I got to run, Adrian. I've got to get the weather forecast in here. We're past time, but everything you said is spot on. Hey, real quick, and I've only got 10 seconds. I'm just going to say that next Thursday, October 25th at 7 p.m., College of Southern Idaho, Taylor Building, Room 276, Corruption Inside the United Nations with the speaker, Peter Gallo. Adrian, I'll talk to you more about this later. I got to run. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
All right, sir.
Very much.
Thank you.
Talk to you about that.
All right, thank you.
Much. Bye now.
Calls welcome, but right now the weather forecast brought to you by Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids, right behind the Minidoka Hospital, across from the emergency room, and the number to call, 312-0957. They will present all your treatment options for your hearing problems with the scientific reasoning behind their recommendations, and they provide the best practices in the field of audiology to help and enhance your hearing health. So please get a hold of them today at 312-0957. Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids. And right now, here's the weather.
Looks like another fine day in the valley as we make our way through the work week. Here's a look at your weather forecast. Expecting sunny skies and a high of 66. Winds are going to be light and variable out of the west, right around 6 miles an hour. Tonight, nice and clear with a low of 34. Tomorrow, as we kick off the weekend, sunny skies, high of 67. Winds out of the south-southwest, right around 6 miles an hour. Clear skies for Friday night with a low of 33. Saturday, going to be the best day. Expecting sunny skies, high of 70, overnight low of 38. Sunday, mostly sunny skies with a high of 68. Now, Sunday evening, clouds are going to be rolling in, expecting a low of 41. And for Monday, we do have a 20% chance of showers in the morning, partly sunny skies with a high of 67. That could carry over for Monday night as well, with a low right around 38. That's a look at your weather forecast for Zeb at the Ranch.
Thank you, Gina. And right now, again, we remind you that Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids, they can help and will help your hearing problems. Please call them today and make an appointment at 312-0957. Caller, I'll be right there. Stand by, please. Don't forget, too, another great advertiser on our program this morning, Forever Green Lawn and Tree Service. You know what? They've got a great idea for Christmas, and it's right around the corner. A lot of people dread hanging their Christmas lights. Maybe they can't get up on the step ladders, whatever. Hey, listen, contact them. They've got an experienced staff that can help, and they do a great job designing custom-fitting light strands that will match the specific needs of your house or business. Oh, I tell you, call them today for an appointment and get a free quote for Evergreen Lawn and Tree Service. Really nice people. 423-6454. That number again, 423-6454. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, sir. One more quick little thing. Laura Ingham last night said the estimate cost per person on this caravan is about $7,000.
Yep.
At its current size, that's a $21 million project.
And guess who's funding it?
Yeah. I'll give you 3, and the first 2 don't count.
Well, I'm telling you, I am so incensed. And, with that, what you just said, and real quick, we're going to talk about this. The guy that is running for governor of Florida on the Democratic ticket. He is an avowed socialist, a black man by the name of Andrew Gillum, and he has come out and said that his campaign, and he says it proudly, has been financed by George Soros and another extreme lefty that wants to take all of our cars away and have us basically live in caves, Tom Steyer. This is the kind of person that we need to fear in this election.
You got that right. Like Adrian says, if you stay home and don't vote in November, you're condoning what the Democrats want. You're condoning mob rule. You're condoning these caravans coming in. There's no reason to be an American citizen if you're going to have an open border.
Yeah, but Doug, wait a minute, real quick. Why, and maybe your neighbors, I don't know, maybe some friends or whatever are like this, why aren't people accepting, knowing, and learning about what's really happening? I had 2 calls yesterday after the program, and they said, oh, come on, you're just being theatrical. It ain't that bad. Well, I tell you what, I told them, well, then you're pretty doggone naive, because it's not that bad, it's worse.
Well, they need to get their face out of their smartphone and quit playing the Throne of War or whatever those games are they play on those phones, and they need to tune in to what's going on in the real world.
That's exactly right. I work hard every day to bring out the facts. I'm not making out any fantasy stories. We're not writing cartoons here on this program. I'm not going to get up 4 hours before the program starts and call New York and Washington, D.C. and get the facts and then have some Nimrod call me and say that I'm being manipulated.
Yeah, and Mexico has to grant these people passage through their country.
They better not.
You can't just walk into their country and walk across it and come to the U.S. Mexico has to grant them passage. So President Trump is right. And also, the money we are sending down to those countries, I think we need to put a stop to it until it's audited and see where that money is actually going and who is benefiting from it.
Amen. I got to run. Thanks, Doug. Appreciate it. Don't forget our friends at Dino Septic Service. They've expanded their business bigger and better to serve all of you. Absolutely with the best of septic tank pumping. You don't want to do that. They do. That's their business. Septic tanks and drain fields installed, backhoe services, water and sewer lines installed, septic inspections, liquid waste removal. The list goes on. Fast, fair, friendly service. And the numbers to call in Rupert 436-6526 or in Burley 678-1638. Absolutely the best. Dino Septic Service with that big truck that says smells cargo on the way. Dino's Septic Service. Wonderful, nice people, too. Let me see real quick. I want to remind you also that I urge you to vote yes on Prop 1. Save Idaho horse racing and help our economy grow. Voting yes on Prop 1 will bring back and create hundreds of good-paying jobs and help the growth of Idaho's equine-related businesses. It's time now to return the horse industry of Idaho to one of our leading agricultural businesses. Please don't be swayed by the misrepresentations and the false statements. Vote yes on Prop 1, November 6th, paid for by the Committee to Save Idaho Horse Racing, create jobs, and fund public schools. Got time for another call. Give me a jingle, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Did you hear about the Pennsylvania man? I'm going to say this story real quick. He actually worked for the Democratic Party back in Pennsylvania. Well, he got fired. He got canned just recently in the last couple of days. Why did he get fired? Because he believed in a statement that he proudly stated at a meeting one evening, that I stand for the flag and I kneel at the cross. The Democrats went nuts, and they fired him for that statement. Now, folks, how in the world could a person 25, 30 years ago be fired for saying, I stand for the flag and I kneel at the cross? 25, 30 years ago, there's not one single person, I don't think, that would have thought or even intimated that that's wrong, or that person needs to be reprimanded, or that person needs to be fired. How absolutely evil the left in this country is. That a man that would say, I stand for the flag and kneel at the cross, lost his job. How pathetic. Don't forget our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, with their great big fall tire sale. And they've got all the passenger car tires, the pickup tires, SUV tires, trailer tires, tires, all kinds of tires. And the sale prices ought to behoove you to get in there today to any one of the 7 locations. Along with the best in brake service and front end alignment, shocks and struts, batteries. Oh, they've got the best. But above all, service. They really take care of their customers. Lane and Rupert, Dave on Blue Lakes and Twin, Mike and Buell, Mike and Jerome, the Twist family in Paul, Daniel on Poline in Twin Falls, and Randy on Overland in Burley. Yep, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, the best. Coming up next hour, the Chamber Report. Castor Regional Hospital, 9:30. Rita will be on the program with us. Stay tuned. Zeb at the Ranch. I'll be back in 7. Good morning and welcome back on an absolutely beautiful Thursday morning out there, October 18th. Wow. I mean, this is Idaho at its best right now with the weather forecast that Gina gave us earlier. We might see highs Saturday in the 70-degree range. Oh, beautiful, beautiful fall weather. Hey, our program's brought to you by our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations serving you with a great big fall tire sale. And, of course, some of our great advertisers like Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley, helping you get back to being you. We're going to be going over to the Chamber of Commerce in just a few minutes, but I want to urge you to remember our dear friend, and he's been serving us for a long time as District 27 State Representative Fred Wood. He urges you to remember, mark it on your calendar in great big red letters, go to the polls and vote on November 6th. Very, very important. And he wants you to study up and be an informed voter about Propositions 1 and 2 and all the people running for election. Know about voting on November 6th. Fred Wood, Legislative District 27 State Representative, paid for by District 27 Representative Fred Wood. Thank you very much. Just a minute, we're going to be going over to the Chamber of Commerce, and I also want to remind you about Ramsey Heating and Electric and Lennox. Oh my, offering service you can trust. Don't forget, Ramsey Heating and Electric offering up to $1,600 in rebates on qualifying equipment purchases. Call them today and find out more. 678-0459. That's right, 678-0459. Ramsey Heating and Electric, in business for over 6 decades at 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley. Thank you very much. Let's see, one more good word. I know I'm a little bit busy and behind this morning. I want to give a great big shout out to Holly Rowe, and hopefully she's going to be at our lunch bunch next week. Minnecasia Hearts for Seniors. This is an absolutely excellent idea. They're located at 135 East 23rd Drive in Burley. Holly Rowe, the number to call, I'm giving you all the particulars first, 312-5715. What do they do? If you're a senior and you want to stay at home, I don't blame you. They offer personal assistance with daily tasks and maybe some meal preparation or light housekeeping, etc., running errands for you. This is a great service. Minnecasia Hearts for Seniors, 312-5715, Holly Rowe, and you can also get a hold of Holly at her website, holly@heartsforseniors.net. Well, let's hurry and get over now to the Minnecasia Chamber of Commerce. She's all wound up and ready to go. Good morning, Sarah.
Hi, Zeb. It's actually Shaylee this morning.
Let me try that again. She's all wound up and ready to go. It's Shaylee. Good morning.
Good morning, Zeb. So like you said, Mini Casual Hearts for Seniors is one of the newest members of the Chamber of Commerce, and we're really excited to welcome Holly and that business to our area. They're going to have an open house at their business, the address that you announced, 135 East 23rd Drive in Burley. That will be Wednesday, November 14th. The open house will be 4 to 6, and their ribbon cutting will be held at 5 p.m. that day. So if anybody in the community would like to come and walk through that and check it out and ask questions, please, you're more than welcome to come down. Some of our other new members are Barclay Truck Rebuilders. They just had a ribbon cutting a few Fridays ago for their new truck and trailer parts store over in Paul. If you have not been over there, I suggest that you go check that out as well. The Boys and Girls Club of Rupert will have a ribbon cutting on Thursday, October 25th at 4 p.m. That location is 323 First Street in Rupert. We're really excited that the Boys and Girls Club of Magic Valley has decided to open a new location in Rupert. The next newest member is Cassiani's Restaurant on Overland Avenue. They will have an open house, Friday, November 9th, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., and it is 1229 Overland Avenue. So if you guys have not gone down there and checked out Cassiani's, it's great. I would suggest going and eating something off their lunch menu. Their pasta is amazing. Go check them out. Some upcoming events that we have going on in the community is the 5K Color Walk Run that's being put on by Casual Regional and Right Physical Therapy. It's a great run. All the proceeds that are generated are donated to Casual Regional to provide free mammograms for people who qualify in our community. So if you want to get involved, call Right Physical Therapy and ask for Autumn. Another thing that we have coming up, Four Paws in Rupert will be holding their annual Halloween party Saturday, October 20th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pomerelle Mountain Resort and Idaho Water Sports will have their annual ski and swap coming up October 25th through the 27th, and that is at Idaho Water Sports. Fabrical will hold a trunk or treat on Halloween, so if you've got your kids out of school, it's 4 to 6 p.m. in their parking lot, and there will be all sorts of businesses there participating and giving out prizes and candy. And if you'd like to be involved in that, or your business would like to be involved in that, you can contact Nancy at Fabrical, or you can contact us here at the Chamber. Some other things that we have coming up, the annual installation banquet for the Chamber is coming up. If you're interested in being a sponsor, table sponsor, event sponsor, please contact us here at the Chamber. The Harry Potter experience is coming up at the Wilson Theater October 25th through the 27th, so we're all really excited for that this year. I think that's about all I have for you this morning, Zeb.
Holy moly, you have gone to the Sarah Seymour School of Public Speaking.
Yeah, I guess.
No, you did a wonderful job. A lot of people call me after the program, and they'll say, boy, we listened to the Chamber, and we didn't get this information or that information, or we're unclear. What are the numbers and the best times to reach the office to get help on these subjects?
The best time to reach us is anytime Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. But every single thing that I just read off, it is on our website, just www.minicasualchamber. Just click on events at the top, and it will give you the option for member events or community events, and all of those calendar events are on there. It is also free for anybody in the community to post to. So if you have an event coming up and you'd like to get it on that calendar, go ahead and go to our website, click on the drop-down event. At the very bottom, it will say Submit Your Event. Click on Community, and it'll walk you through it in a couple easy steps. Or like I said, you can call us at the Chamber. We'll help you get it up there for free. Or you can come into our Visitor Center, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, located at 11777 7th Street in Heyburn.
Wow. I don't know if you're going to carry on the tradition or not, but are you going to have one of Sarah's groaners this morning?
I actually looked up a groaner, so I have one.
I can't wait. I'm sitting here with bated breath.
Right? Why shouldn't you tell a secret on a farm, Zeb?
Why shouldn't you tell a secret on a farm?
Yes.
I haven't got a clue.
Because the corn have ears.
Talk to you next week. Thanks, Shaylee. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
God bless. Thank you. That's your Mini-Cassia Chamber of Commerce, and I mean some really great people over there serving you and all the businesses and everything and helping people come through our area. Mini-Cassia Chamber of Commerce. We really appreciate them. Okay, let's also mention some other folks we really appreciate because they are outstanding in their community service and helping you and your family. When there's the passing of a loved one, they are there to serve you always with the highest ethical standards and unquestioned integrity. Who am I talking about? Hanson Mortuary at 710 6th Street in Rupert. Number to call, 436-5636. Joel Heward, manager, family, his staff, all of the folks absolutely want to serve with the best possible support and comfort. Please call their number again, 436-5636, Hanson Mortuary in Rupert, and Joel Heward also serving you at Morrison Payne Funeral Home on East Main in Burley. Really good people. And when you have a great big title called Good People, you've got to include these folks. Man, I'll tell you what, let's ride. 270 Highway 24 between Rupert and the World. Man, they got us into some four-wheelers about 9-10 years ago. Best thing ever happened. I really appreciate Nick and Randy and the whole crew over there serving everybody with the best of ATVs and the best of snowmobiles and the best of all the accessories. And they've got a wonderful service department to keep you running absolutely. They're located at 270 Highway 24 between Rupert and the World. The number to call, 436-4771. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, Saturdays, 9 to 4. Let's ride where the fun is sold. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, we're very fortunate on this program, Zebeth Ranch, to have every week on our show a segment called Cassia Regional Hospital and all the great people that work over there, your friends, your neighbors, serving you with the best of health care at Cassia Regional Hospital. Right now, we're ready to hear the report for this week.
People caring about you and your health care in the most professional and progressive ways. That's Cassia Regional Hospital, located at 1501 Highland Avenue in Burley. In a moment, we'll introduce you to just one of the many dedicated medical experts serving you at Cassia Regional Hospital. Today's program, right after this. Cassia Regional Hospital provides you and your family excellent health care answers and services. They're right here, close to home. That's right. Cassia Regional Hospital offers the latest technological advances in medicine, like their new oncology programs and telehealth, which uses electronic information and telecommunications to promote long-distance patient and clinical health care. Your friends, your neighbors. Cassia Regional Hospital, 1501 Highland Avenue in Burley. Quality care, close to home. More of the great people over at Cassia Regional Hospital, your friends, your neighbors serving you. And a wonderful lady that's the marketing and communications manager for Cassia Regional Hospital, Stephanie Curtis. Good morning, Stephanie. How are you?
Good morning, Zeb. I'm doing very well. How are you?
Well, I'm great, but I understand that you're going to be involved in some kind of a fun thing coming up on Saturday, October 20th that involves a lot of physical exercise like a 5K run. Tell us what it is.
That's right. Yes, I'm excited, looking forward to it, and the weather is supposed to be really great, so that's a good thing. It is the annual Hoofing It for a Cure 5K color run and walk that our wonderful fire department in Burley and the Burley Fire Department volunteers put on, and they do it every year in October for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And they do it to raise money for free mammograms for the women in our community who needs financial assistance. So it provides free mammograms for women in our area who qualify. And it usually lasts, the funds that they raise usually last nearly the entire year for the people who need it. So it is an awesome thing they do.
Well, now, what do you do? Do you have to pay an entry fee? Are you sponsored by someone? Give us a little semblance of how the race is run.
Yeah, there's an entry fee. There are different options. A single entry fee is $30. A family of 4 is $60, and a team of 4 is $100. And you can sign up day of, or you can contact the Burley Fire Department or write physical therapy to get registration forms and to pay ahead of time. But they will have extra T-shirts on hand and would love to take registrations the morning of.
You said something before we went on the air about this is a 5K color, run, and walk. And you said something about people are going to be throwing chalk and paint at you. What's going on here?
That's right, yeah, be prepared for that if you come. It's going to be a lot of fun. This is kind of the new craze in 5Ks. So they have, I believe it's the Burley High School football team, ready and prepared to throw chalk as you're running or walking by at various intervals during the race. And they have lots of colors. And because it's chalk, it just comes right off really easily. But what it does is it covers you in color from head to toe. So it's really a fun thing to experience.
Well, now, what about getting that stuff in your eyes? I mean, you might run into a tree.
Well, I'm not sure about that. I guess it's possible. You might want to rub your eyes off every chance you get if you get.
Well, now, you said the funds are going to go to October being Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Let's talk a little bit about that, because this is something, one other part of cancer that's so insidious, breast cancer, and it helps provide money for the mammograms, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And we hear talks on the radio and television by some people, politicians, et cetera, that are trying to say, oh, don't worry about it, don't go get your mammogram, and don't overdo the system and burden it with extra money spent. But, boy, I'll tell you what, breast cancer in my family, my mother, my grandmother, et cetera, I urge women to do this. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, this is something, and we have heard, like you said, some people are talking about don't do it as often, and I'm not sure exactly where it comes from, but it may be influenced by insurance companies. I don't know, but I know that people who have had breast cancer. We just did an interview with a woman here at the hospital who works here a couple weeks ago at the Times News, and if she hadn't had an annual mammogram done, she would not have caught her breast cancer in time. It was very, very aggressive, and she had a real personal experience and felt that very strongly that women need to get an annual mammogram done. And it is, after the age of 45, we don't need to get them done annually before then. But yes, it's still highly recommended by the medical field to get an annual mammogram done after the age of 45. And, by the way, we have 3D mammography here now, which is the latest and greatest in mammography technology. And it gives a better, thorough picture. And it's a really great thing that our community has access to that now.
Well, let me ask you this, Stephanie, and I'm sure there's a lot of ladies in the audience that are probably wondering and worrying and questioning. When they call in and want to get a mammography, I mean, how much time out of the day? A lot of people will say, is it painful? Is it going to really bother me? Can you give us kind of an explanation about that?
Yeah, it'll probably take a half an hour. I'm not exactly sure, but I got one done a couple years ago for the first time, and I think it only took me about an hour, or it was less than an hour, half an hour, by the time you come in and register and get a greeting and get prepared for it and get the exam done. And you know what, there's a little bit of discomfort, but it is nothing that can't be managed. It's just fine, honestly. And by the way, we have a new comfort plate that is curved, and I'm not sure how much less pressure that takes takes off, but I've heard it's much, much more comfortable. And we have the comfort pads as well that soften the experience.
Okay, so I really commend you and thank you on behalf of Cassia Regional for doing all these activities like this 5K run. So once again, let's tell everybody this is going to be coming up on this coming Saturday, October 20th, and give us all the particulars. Where did they go to sign up and everything else?
Yeah, okay, so registration is from 9 to 10:15 a.m. this Saturday at Wright Physical Therapy, which is at 1945 Highland Avenue in Burley. The race will start at 10:30 a.m. and is usually done, everything's usually done by about 11:30 a.m. So come join us. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Are you a 5K runner, and are you into that kind of thing on a frequent basis?
You know, no, I'm not. I don't run. I do work out, but I'm not a big runner. But I did run it last year, and it is lots of fun. It's a good race for beginners, and also you can walk.
Okay, so if anybody sees a couple of people dragging someone down the street, it's probably you, correct?
That sounds about right.
Well, I want to compliment you on a great job, and we've really enjoyed meeting all the various personnel of various departments at Cassia Regional Hospital, and we've had a chance this morning to visit with Stephanie Curtis. She's the Marketing and Communications Manager of Cassia Regional. Good luck on the 5K color run and walk, and your husband and family probably won't recognize you when it's over.
No, I'm sure they won't. You won't be joining us, Seth? Is that what you're saying?
You've seen me walk in on my crutches. Do I look? I'd be a good target for all the chalk.
Oh, I know. Well, we'll miss you.
All right. Stephanie, God bless, and I hope this is a wonderful event and really helps Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Thank you so much, Seth.
Thank you. Thank you. Tune in every Thursday at 9:18 right here on Zeb at the Ranch for more about the people and the healthcare services at your Cassia Regional Hospital, 1501 Highland Avenue in Burley. Quality care close to home.
Wonderful people at Cassia Regional Hospital, and we appreciate them being on Zeb at the Ranch. You know, the starting gates are rusty, the stalls are empty, and the feed and tack store is closed. On November 6th, I urge you to vote yes on Proposition 1 to help bring back the great horse industry of Idaho. Prop 1 is not just a horse racing issue. It's an opportunity to support hundreds of related businesses and grow Idaho's economy. Vote yes on Prop 1 November 6th, paid for by the Committee to Save Idaho Horse Racing, create jobs, and fund public schools. Want to also remind you, too, about our friends over at Cameron and Siemens Insurance, Highway 24 in Rupert. Hello! How are you folks out there this morning? Life insurance, health insurance, retirement planning, employee benefits. They work daily to serve you, your family, and your business. Very dedicated and responsive to your needs. I know I can attest to that. Great folks. 436-4424, the number to call. I urge you to call today and make an appointment. 436-4424. Cameron and Siemens Insurance, Highway 24 in Rupert. Very, very nice people. All right, let me see where I am at right now. I've got to make sure we're going to be going over to talk to Rita in just a few moments. Real quick, I want to remind you that next week on Thursday, we're going to have our monthly lunch bunch. It's our Halloween lunch bunch, and it's a costume party contest. Oh, it's going to be a lot of fun. And we've even got some really, really nice prizes lined up for the winners of the costume contest. We've got a great, I'm not going to tell you what some of these great prizes are right now until I make sure I got everything correct, but I'll tell you what, they've really jumped in and helped. Stoats Equipment Company, your John Deere dealer, along with Lee's Furniture and Jeff and the crew, and Tires West with my buddy Randy, Les Schwab. All of them getting involved and providing the prizes for this Halloween costume contest next Thursday at 11:30 at Denny's Restaurant, 611 North Overland in Burley at 11:30. Wow. I'd like to be driving down Overland and just watching all the people walk in with their costumes on. It's going to really turn some heads, I think. It's going to be a lot of fun. We hope you are there. Another quick note that I've got to get on here real quick. There's going to be a film at the Burley Theater next Wednesday night at 6 p.m. It's called Lavoie, Dead Man Talking. And you probably heard Leiden Crane talking about this the other day. It's going to be shown at the Burley Theater, 135 West Main Street in Burley, next Wednesday at 6 p.m. It's a bio-documentary of the life and death of Lavoie Finicum, the Arizona rancher that was killed in Oregon on January 26, 2016. And right after the showing of the film, which is free to the public, there will be a question and answer period with the producer and the family. That's next Wednesday night at 6 p.m. at the Burley Theater. Do not miss that, please. Our friends at Ramsey Heating and Electric and Lennox, and we're going to be talking to one of our dear friends over there in just a few moments. Ramsey Heating and Electric and Lennox, offering you service you can trust. And don't forget, they can also help save you money. Ramsey Heating and Electric is offering up to $1,600 in rebates on qualifying equipment purchases. And don't forget to call them today and find out more. 678-0459. Ramsey Heating and Electric and Lennox, proudly offering the Lennox products at, of course, their main address, 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley. Over 60 years of service to you with Ramsey Heating and Electric. Wow. Okay, let's go to the phone line and open the door, offer her the most comfortable chair in the room. Good morning, Rita Ramsey. How are you?
Good morning. I'm real good. Thank you.
Rita, it gets deeper and thicker and murkier and more dangerous every day with the left and these evil, insidious Democrats and what they're doing. Am I overstating my case, or do you agree with me?
No, I think they're just off the rails. It's really sad when people get so emotional instead of, looking at the picture and, analyzing it and saying, is this the hill I want to die on? They are just absolutely gone bonkers, and it's really sad, and I heard you talking about it a little bit earlier, but, they're got stuff going to where it's like, well, just as soon as we get the House and or the Senate, we're going to start this and that and the other against Kavanaugh, and we're going to get him out of there. And they are just absolutely beyond the rail. It's just really sad because I don't think they're even sane anymore.
Well, let me ask you this, and you've always been very forthright and honest about various topics that we talk about every Thursday. Doesn't and can't the American public understand that they're not talking about, the Democrats are not talking about better serving them. They're not talking about better helping the American public live a better life. All they're talking about is hatred and going after people if they get back in power. Don't the people understand this?
Well, a good many of them do, but the people who understand it are the ones who were informed, and of course we're speaking to the choir, because they're the people who listen to talk radio, they're the people who listen to their friends and neighbors and talk politics, but you've got a bunch of people out there that, I still have people every once in a while say, man, I saw on MSNBC last night. It's kind of like, so you're one of the 12 that watches that show? Really? And they get headlines, but they absolutely have no clue what the issues are.
Yeah.
And so it's our job as acquaintances and associates and neighbors and people on talk radio to see if we can get them to become informed somewhat, because otherwise they just take things for face value. They don't look at what the issues really are. We've got a couple of issues coming up to vote for. It might seem like, well, we're a red state, we're going to elect a red, a Republican, we don't elect hardly any Democrats, and da-da-da-da. We've got judges that need to be elected. We've got, of course, our governor and a number of other spots. But if you don't watch out, you end up voting for the wrong things, because some of the things that they say sound like, well, this is really a good thing for Idaho. And then you find out that it's not. One of the things that talks about that this is good for Idaho is let's just expand Medicare. Well, That's not going to work. And I heard, it's been a number of months ago, I heard, it was an article I was actually reading where it says, the Republicans need to take ownership of this. This is a good thing for them. And I'm thinking, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
This is not a good thing for them, because if you actually analyze it, they say that Medicare will be broke within 7 years. And right now, they say there's something about 19% of America is on Medicare. And if they put everybody on Medicare, how long is it going to be solvent?
You know, what you're saying is 100% correct. And at 10:30 this morning, one of my favorite guests from Atlanta, Georgia, Dr. Elena George, that came out during the Obama administration and absolutely denounced and tore apart Obamacare. She's going to be back on, and we're going to be talking about really the bottom line. Maybe you don't agree with this statement, but I'm going to make it. If you want to chew on me, go ahead. But you know as well as I do, I think that the Democrats, the main thing they don't want to provide a decent health care program to anybody at any point in the near future. All they want is a single-payer insurance on a Medicare program or a hospital program that basically is going to be one size fits all, and if you're old, go die.
Well, that's what it actually ends up being. When they're telling you how, if we just expand Medicare, Medicaid, whatever it is, then the federal government's going to pay for it. Idaho doesn't have to. Well, the federal government may pay for the first year or two, but pretty soon the bill ends up in Idaho's lap, and we end up the ones paying it. And that's the sad part, and that's why we wanted to be against Obamacare to begin with, why we didn't want insurance exchanges, why we didn't want all that other stuff, is because Idahoans are going to have to pay. And it's going to come out of our pockets individually, and anybody who says, well, the federal government's going to pay for it.
Oh, brother.
So where does the federal government get their money?
Oh, brother.
And they can cut us off pretty fast, and that's the way Obama did.
Some of the arguments that people make because they haven't taken the time to educate themselves are absolute lunacy. I want to get into another subject, and for me, this is a pet project for me because I'm so absolutely livid against people just coming up, poking America in the chest and saying, get out of our way. We're coming into your country whether you like it or not. Now this mess that's coming up through Central America into Mexico, and they want to get here to our borders and cross our borders on November 6th, Election Day, has grown to over 4,000 people, heavily financed by the left. And I want to say this, I support President Trump for getting tough, and I support President Trump for saying we're going to bring the military down because you're not coming in. What are your thoughts?
That's the only way that we can stop them, and we need to do that. And there's no way that we can absorb that. They are all coming here. They all say, well, I want to come here so that I can have just a better way of life. I'm trying to escape tyranny from the country that I was living in, and that type of thing. And there may be a few of those in that mix. However, we have seen with the immigrants that don't come here legally, they're not intending to assimilate. They're not intending to help make America greater. They're not trying to do anything except get the free stuff. And then hate, and they hate America anyway. If they didn't, they wouldn't have all of these big rallies where they're all waving their flags of their other countries saying, we're going to take this area of the United States and give it back to our country, and
Rita,
all of their hyperbole.
Let me ask you this question, and this is something I brought up the first hour. If you're going to allow 22 million illegal aliens to reside in this country, and then you bring in refugees from all points of the compass, all of this is a drain and a cost to the American taxpayer. Are you going to end up with a split society of those that pay taxes and those that leech off the money of those taxes? And pretty soon you're going to have a society that, like me, are going to say, why should I pay my taxes while the others sit at home and watch TV and eat bonbons?
Well, that's just it. You see that, they'll work and they'll get money under the table. They may work harvest. They may work odd jobs. They may make food and take it around and sell it, but it's all not taxable, so they're not paying taxes on it. Then they're getting all the free stuff, and by the time that they get all the free stuff and do their under-the-counter stuff or under-the-table stuff, they end up making more money than the majority of just the average people. And they're paying no taxes on it.
That's right. We have a caller with a question. We're going to ask the caller to keep it brief. We're short on time this morning. My fault. Thank you very much, caller. Go ahead.
Well, you were talking about the expansion of Medicare. We're $20 trillion in debt, and it's growing. We've got 130 or 150, 120 trillion in unfunded mandates. And Social Security is one of them. And people don't even know what $1 trillion is. They don't care. They think it doesn't matter. They think we're going to print our way out of it. And then our elected officials are so literally irresponsible. There's no leadership in them. And you see, someday the rubber is going to meet the road here somewhere. I don't know how it'll happen. I'll hang up.
Before you respond to him, I want to make sure that we get a qualification on what we're talking about. We're not talking about a Medicare expansion. We're talking Medicaid expansion. Okay, go ahead, Rita, please.
That's right. But what they want to do is they want to just combine all of it together so that they don't have such, so it's so much easier to take care of.
Right.
So Medicaid is people who can't afford health insurance or health care, and so they get Uncle Sam to fund it. Medicare is offered through the federal government generally to people who are retired.
Yep.
And there are some exceptions, like those with disabilities, possibly. But mostly the Medicaid are the ones who are just on all the free stuff. The thing of it is, if you expand and put it all into one, what does that do to our senior citizens who this was promised to them from the day they started work?
That's exactly right. I am so embittered with the robbing Peter to pay Paul atmosphere and attitude of our politicians. Well, we'll just take it out of this little pot and put it over here for a while until people start screaming, and then we'll say, well, we got to refund that, etc. If Crapo and Risch, and especially Simpson, and the rest of these so-called representatives of the people were sitting right here in this office, I'd say the same thing right to their face. They are not working and serving the people that voted them in office.
Well, they're not, and that's the part that just really makes people crazy. Is I could sit down and tell you how we solved this issue. In fact, I will tell you right now how we solved this issue, and it just takes a little common sense. So what you do, and I've advocated this before, is you say, okay, as of the 1st of April 2019, if you haven't requalified yourself, there will be no more benefits. Social Security, Medicaid, welfare, anything. You have to requalify yourself.
Yeah.
And what you do is you say, okay, the first ones we're going to get requalified are the people on Social Security who are retired. And if you can't make it to the Senior Citizen Center, where we've got a representative there who will help you, we will have them come to your home and get you requalified so that there will not be any lapse in your benefits.
There you go.
And you do that with their Medicare and their Social Security. And then what you do is you say, so they're the first ones we're going to get requalified, and everybody else needs to get requalified. And you end up finding out that probably a third of the people who are on Social Security really should not be on Social Security. They don't qualify. They may not be citizens. Maybe they're on disability, but they should be working, and those types of things. And you start doing a requalification, and the people who aren't supposed to be on it are going to be weeded out really, really fast, and it's going to make a really big difference in what you have available to pay them.
Well, until
we decide that we're going to make some changes, nothing's going to happen. I did notice, I think it was yesterday evening, that President Trump asked the members of his cabinet to figure out how to cut 5% of their budgets. So this sounds to me like that possibly he's encouraging less spending, This is what America needs to do, whether it's statewide, countywide, citywide, or national. Everybody needs to look at their budgets and say, you know what, we could cut X amount, and we're going to demand that from all of the agencies and all of the everything.
You know, Rita...
And then start with getting some of the fat out of there.
You know, right there, getting the fat out of there. I've taken so many calls on my cell phone, which I readily give out, and I'll give it out now, 312-2976, of people condemning me for going after what they call are the poor people that can't afford the Medicaid coverage, etc. Wait a minute. You know as well as I do that out of the purportedly 60, 70, or 80,000, whatever the number is, of those people, there is a large percentage of those people that are able to better their own situations and create their own atmosphere of responsibility. I'll stand behind my statement.
Well, that's absolutely right. And then the other question that I have is, so why should I be paying for you and I have to pay for my own?
There you go.
You can't afford it, but I should pay for you and for me?
That's the whole thing, though.
That we need to take care of the sick and the needy and the fatherless and that. But if that's all we were doing, we could do it in fine style. But we've got so many people riding the wagon that they're just weighting it down to where the tires are almost flat.
Yeah, but Rita, that's the situation we're looking at also with this open border campaign that the left is promoting and perpetrating. Basically, the American taxpayer, they're just gullible and dumb. We'll just keep bringing people in and they'll pay for it. No! I'm fed up with it. I have worked hard all my life. You've worked hard all your life. I believe in helping people up to a point of where they can assume their own personal responsibility, but I don't want an open door policy on my money.
Well, you can't do that because it destroys our country, and we end up with multiculturalism, which will totally destroy our country. We've got to be all on one page. We've got to have people producing who can produce, and we take care of those who can't. And that's going to have to be it. But that's not the way it is right now, and that's why we're going down. And the Democrats like it because they think, well, we'll be able to get in charge, and then we will just be in charge of everything.
Absolutely.
And their system is getting rid of those who won't produce because there will not be enough money for everything.
Absolutely. Caller, I know you're waiting. You're going to have to wait about another minute because I've got to get a weather forecast on here. And the weather brought to you by Phillips Oaks, Goodwin, Crane, and Company, providing accounting services to the Mini-Cash area for well over 50 years. The very best of tax return preparation, tax planning, financial statement preparation, retirement planning. The list goes on and on. The professional services to you, your family, and your business from Phillips Oaks, Goodwin, Crane, and Company, with offices in Burley and Rupert. And right now, here's Gina with the weather.
Looks like another fine day in the valley as we make our way through the work week. Here's a look at your weather forecast. Expecting sunny skies and a high of 66. Winds are going to be light and variable out of the west, right around 6 miles an hour. Tonight, nice and clear with a low of 34. Tomorrow, as we kick off the weekend, sunny skies, high of 67. Winds out of the south-southwest, right around 6 miles an hour. Clear skies for Friday night with a low of 33. Saturday, going to be the best day. Expecting sunny skies, high of 70, overnight low of 38. Sunday, mostly sunny skies with a high of 68. Now, Sunday evening, clouds are going to be rolling in, expecting a low of 41. And for Monday, we do have a 20% chance of showers in the morning, partly sunny skies with a high of 67. That could carry over for Monday night as well, with a low right around 38. That's a look at your weather forecast for Zeb at the Ranch.
Thank you, Gina. Brought to everybody by Phillips Oaks, Goodwin, Crane, and Company. With offices in Burley and Rupert, believe me, they can and will help you, your family, and your business. Maybe you're wanting to expand. Maybe you want to start a partnership or a corporation. All these things and more, they can work with you. Phillips Oaks, Goodwin, Crane, and Company. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, Zeb. I got a little... You're talking about people wanting us to pay for their health care. I don't mind paying part of my paycheck out to help the old grandma and grandpas out there who paid into it. I don't mind to help those who physically can't get up and do the work. It's hard enough to pay for my own insurance to make sure that I get to the doctor when I hurt real bad or when I need it. I can't afford to pay for my own, so how in the world am I going to pay for somebody else?
You shouldn't have to.
And it drives me nuts.
Absolutely. I agree with you, Riley, and you bring up a very good point and presentation. Thank you very much. Rita, respond to the caller, please.
No, he's absolutely right, and we're getting tired of that. And, you know, I kind of refer back to Atlas Shrugged again, because that's basically what happened. Is the story is about, and a Russian lady wrote it in the 50s, is that you've got all these people who are producing, and they're the ones who are providing wealth and doing everything, and pretty soon you have a bunch of people that are working, and they just cut off, well, the rich guys can take care of us, and they do it. Well, pretty soon all the rich guys start just disappearing. They just totally leave. They say, I'm tired of doing this. I'm not going to do it. I leave, and they leave the country or start their own society in the mountains in Colorado or wherever it is, and just say, I'm not doing it anymore. And it won't be there, and we will be a broken society, and we will be in real big trouble.
You know, I've only got a couple of minutes left here, but I want you to talk to me about this situation. The Democrats and their absolutely fiendish and devoted approach to doing nothing for the American public except being crybabies because they lost the 2016 election. And yesterday, when I heard Dianne Feinstein say that when they regain power, she is going to devote her efforts in a renewed effort to go after sitting Judge Kavanaugh, and then Trump. And all the Democratic Party is, it's not for the American people and betterment for America. It's this sick, insidious, we're going to get those guys. We're going to throw them out of office. What is your response?
Well, that is what's going to happen if the Democrats get into office. The other thing that's going to happen is, I honestly think, and I keep my fingers crossed saying it, and I hope this is what's happened, is there are enough people who are so absolutely fed up with the federal government and the big spending and supporting everybody else and the borders and all that kind of stuff. That's why Trump is our president, is because the average American said, hey, I'm tired of it. I'm done with it. We want anything but Washington. And so I think that there is a lot of other people that have joined onto the bandwagon of saying, you know what, we can't do it again. We need America working like it's working right now, where economy is going up, and we're trying to get rid of some of this other stuff that's going on that shouldn't be, and saying that's the only way that we survive here. And so hopefully there will be a big red wave, because all Republicans went out and voted and said, we want things to continue on, and we're going to have to start slashing things, or we're not going to be solvent.
One last story I've got to have you comment on, because it just seems like the left gets dumber and dumber all the time with the loons in Hollywood. Did you hear that some of the Hollywood actresses are making now a pitch against Disney's Snow White and Cinderella cartoon movies, because like in the instance of Snow White, they were absolutely now all of a sudden appalled that the prince in a cartoon walked up and kissed the Princess Snow White without her permission.
This just goes to show you how stupid people really are. I mean, it's kind of like saying that the Muppets were gay, and the Muppet people had to come on and say, you know what, they're just friends, they're not gay. We don't need to bring that into this. It's the same thing with the cartoons and Disney and everything else. Just leave your agenda out of it. Forget about it. This is cartoons. If kids want to watch that and it's good and wholesome, let them do it. You don't have to put your spin on it or start criticizing it.
And then, quickly, the man in Pennsylvania that worked for the Democratic Party gets fired from the Democratic Party because he made the statement and maintains that he will always stand for the flag and kneel at the cross. The Democrats fired him.
Well, all I can say is if he was working for the Democrats and that's the way he feels, he's not really a true Democrat, so it's probably a good thing they fired him and he can go to the other side where he's welcome.
Oh, Rita, I love having you on the program. I just wish we had more time because we got so much more to get into. But I wanted to talk about, and this is not a laughing matter, it's so serious. We'll talk about it next week, and that's this insidious polio-like disease that is now spread to 22 states. I am adamant. Get your children vaccinated. Give me a real quick retort, please.
Well, not only do they need to be vaccinated, and polio isn't the only thing.
That's right.
We need to stop the people at the border who are bringing this in, and right now there is no stop.
Absolutely. Rita Ramsey, thank you so much. God bless.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Thank you. I enjoy having her on the program. Straight shooter. I enjoy that. Let's see where we are. Oh, if you're hungry and starving to death, and boy, I am. I've been cutting myself back quite a bit to just a little bitty bowl of cereal at 4 o'clock in the morning, and then a little bitty salad at noon, and by about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm furiously hungry. Well, right now I'm going to talk about if you're hungry and starving to death, I urge you to go to the AC Drive-In at 601 East Main in Burley. Oh, listen to this. This knocks my socks off. Pumpkin shakes, black raspberry shakes, red raspberry shakes, along with a famous Farmer Brown burger and fries and special sauce. Oh, my! It's delicious. Stop into the AC Drive-In at 601 East Main in Burley. Well, how about Taco Bandito? 2301 Overland in Burley. One of the great places to go in the morning for coffee and maybe have one of those breakfast burritos. Oh, you don't know what they're in? I'll tell you what, scrambled eggs, bacon and sausage, cheese, onions, tomatoes, sauce on a tortilla shell. Woo! Knock your Tony Llamas off delicious at the Taco Bandito, 2301 Overland in Burley. Well, let's try burgers, etc. 2 locations. 124 South Oneida in Rupert and 700 Overland in Burley. They've got a different soup every day. Delicious hot soup. I love soup. And then they've got that ham and cheese combo after 3 p.m., only $4.99. Oh, that is a great sandwich, fries, and drink. Don't forget great, helpful people serving you at Burgers, etc., 2 locations, Rupert and Burley. And last but not least, Steve-O's. Boy, oh boy, that's a great place to eat at 290 South, 600 West of Hayburn. And they've got those delicious buffalo burgers and the cheesy broccoli spud, not with an L, it's spud with a U. And don't forget, too, they've got great servers over there. What menu choice? You're going to love the food. You're going to love the service always at Steve-O's at 290 South, 600 West of Hayburn. Food made the way you love it. And those are just a few great places to go if you're hungry and starving to death. I really am. I'm hungry this morning. Okay, coming up next hour. We have got Cassia County School Days, and that always is very interesting, and I know you're going to really enjoy the subject matter this morning. Very serious subject. We're going to be talking about kids vaping. We're going to be talking about that. And then our business salute, and then at 10:32, Dr. Elena George. Don't miss a minute of it. We got another great hour. Zeb at the Ranch. I'll be back in 7. Oh boy, what a beautiful day in the Magic Valley. Good morning, Zeb at the Ranch, and of course with our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations serving you with a great big fall tire sale going on right now. And some of our great advertisers like Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley, helping you get back to being you. In just a few moments, we're going to have our Cassia County School Days, but before we do that, I also want to remind you that there is going to be a big special feeder cattle sale at Producers Livestock in Jerome this Saturday, coming up in a couple of days, right over there at Producers Livestock in Jerome at high noon. This is going to be a choice cattle only, no dairy or dairy cross cattle. Choice cattle for the special feeder cattle sale this Saturday at Producers Livestock in Jerome. For consignment information, contact Dan Schiffler at 539-4933 or call the office at Jerome Producers 324-4345. Don't forget, Saturday at high noon, special feeder cattle sale at Producers Livestock in Jerome. Really going to be a good one. And by the way, too, we want to remind you again about Ramsey Heating and Electric and Lennox offering service you can trust. Don't forget that. And helping you save money, too. Ramsey Heating and Electric offering up to $1,600 in rebates on qualifying equipment purchases. Call them today and find out more. 678-0459. Or you can visit them online at ramseysonline.com. Oh, wonderful people that have been in business for over 6 decades. Ramsey Heating and Electric at 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley. And last but not least, we want to also say a big shout out and thank you to a friend of ours, a friend of yours that's really served Idaho as a legislative District 27 state representative, and that's Mr. Fred Wood. Absolutely. Fred, of course, a retired physician, lifetime member of the NRA, absolutely knows what he's talking about, does an excellent job working for us. And he urges you to go vote November 6th. Know and study the Propositions 1 and 2, and know and study the people that are running. Please vote November 6th, paid for by District 27 Representative Fred Wood. Right now it's time for our next segment, and we want to say a big thank you to A Child's World. They are sponsoring Cassia County School Days at 1308 Overland in Burley, and they've got all kinds of new clothes coming in and going up on the rack from newborn to size 16 and very reasonably priced. And they've got all the 5-piece suits, sizes 2 to size 20, and a lot of white shirts for the boys. Don't forget they've got the Cherokee scrubs and the shoes, too. All of this and more at A Child's World, 1308 Overland in Burley. And right now, we're going to go to the phone line. We have had this gentleman on the program in the past, and we're going to be talking about a very serious subject and problem that's also right here in the Cassia school system. And the gentleman's name is Kit Kanakoa, and I hope I said his name right. Good morning, Kit.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good. Now tell me, did I say your last name wrong or correctly?
No, you hit it right on the dot. That was perfect.
You know, when Debbie sent me the note and she kind of laid it out on how to say it and everything, I was just going to have a little fun with you and say good morning to Kit Jones, but I did call you by your full name.
I get everything. I had a student call me Krakatoa for a while, so I respond to pretty much anything.
Kit, we're going to really serious this up a little bit, if you will. I don't know why. I'm an old man, so help me a little bit. Why is this vaping such a hot topic and such a big deal with the kids today? What is going on?
Yeah, that's a great question, and really for me, I think it comes to two different issues. Number one is I think when vaping and e-cigarettes kind of hit the scene, it was marketed and kind of publicized as a safer alternative to cigarettes.
Right.
And so I think that was kind of the big thing. You know, people were looking to do, you know, something that's not as harmful to their body. The second issue, I think, is they have a ton of different flavors. Tutti Frutti, cotton candy. You know, for my style in the South Pacific, you've got mango and passion fruit.
Oh, my.
And, yeah, so, you know, you've got this huge array of appealing flavors mixed with, you know, this, what we're now learning is a false premise of it being a safer alternative. And I think those two things combined have made for such a huge problem.
Well, Kit, I understand from what I've heard and read and talked to other people that right there in the Cassia County schools, you've got problems with these kids doing the vaping right there at the school. I mean, why not a crackdown and just say, hey, that's it. You're not going to smoke. You're not going to vape. That's it. Don't bring it. You're out of school if you do. What's happening here?
Yeah, and that's the message that we send. Again, you know, we see it as you can purchase these items when you're 18, and so we see it from legal purchasers filtering down, not just to us in the high school, but also down into the middle school, and I've heard even down to elementary schools.
Wow.
And so our message is we hit it hard. We have zero tolerance for it. But it is a little different in that it doesn't have that pungent smell. And so it's a little more, difficult to detect. But we don't mess around with it.
And Wheels over at the station, if you could turn him up on my feed line just a little bit. We have a little kid, if I could ask you to speak up too, it'd be helpful. Thank you. What are the dangers here? I mean, let's lay it out on the line. What are the dangers? What are the concerns? What are the worries of school districts everywhere besides yours?
Yeah, well, the first thing, again, is kind of the age groups where it's really filtering down to young kids. My understanding is that Pocatello had a third grader.
Oh, my gosh.
That was recently caught vaping at one of their schools. So this is really out of control. But the big issue is now we're getting so much information that this is so much more dangerous. You are basically taking in so much heat at such a quick time frame. It is literally cooking your insides.
Now, hold on, Kit, please. Like I said, I'm an old man, and I don't understand a lot of this. Like, how is that cooking and or hurting their interior of their body with this vaping? Explain that more thoroughly.
So my understanding, and again, I'm not an expert on this, but what we've been told, and we've been reaching out to as many resources as we can, is that it's such a concentrated inhale of heat, basically.
Oh.
That it is just really, you are... it's like breathing into a tube that's coming out of your oven, basically. It's turned on at a high heat. And you're just taking that all in, and it is literally starting to cook your lungs.
So what about the kids that are doing this and they're trying to hide and shelter it from their parents? They go on the school grounds, they go in the locker rooms, they go in the washrooms, whatever, and they're doing. What are you going to do? How are you cracking down on these kids?
Yeah, so we have in our locker rooms, and I just want to speak to our school. I'm not exactly sure what's going on at different buildings. But for ours, we have an adult in the locker room at all times when students are there. Then we lock those up. If a student has to leave for whatever reason, we have somebody go in with them and leave. With the bathrooms, if there's an instance where we feel that that's been abused, we may not have caught the individuals. We'll actually lock those bathrooms down and make everybody go to a different restroom. We do have cameras that are outside in the hallways, so we have a pretty good job of tracking down when certain individuals go into different areas of our building.
Is this situation getting to the point that, and now, Wheels, I've got a little feedback there, if you wouldn't mind. It's real touchy, I understand. But are we at a point now where this is growing in popularity with these kids and it's really becoming a nuisance problem and a health problem?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We've got articles that come to us from the CDC, so the Centers of Disease Control, from the FDA, both of them that are trying to pinpoint how out of control and how such a huge problem this is nationwide. So again, it's not just in our area, it is all over the nation.
When you confiscate the equipment, and by the way, showing how naive I am, I have no clue about the equipment, so you're going to have to enlighten me. Are you just taking it, holding it at the superintendent or principal's office and calling the parents in, or what's the modus operandi there?
That's a great question. It really depends. If it's somebody who's of legal age, so it's 18 or over, and they can have it, but they can't have it on school property. They can't have it on school grounds. So we will confiscate that. We will call parents in, and we will give it to the parents and just say, look, we understand that legally they can buy it and purchase this. However, you still cannot have that on school grounds. If it's somebody underage and they're being cited by the police, we give law enforcement, obviously, we hand over anything that they may want. So it really just kind of depends on the age there and the investigation.
Kit, you've always been a straight shooter with me, and I'm going to ask you a question, and I expect an answer on this. What about the parents? Are they, in general, somewhat to blame for their kids having this stuff?
There's some instances. I would say that's not the majority, but there are a few of those. And again, it's just like cigarettes. It's like knives or any other things where kids, we confront them and they're like, well, my parents say it's okay. That is the minority, though, the vast minority. The vast majority is when we call the parents, they have no idea. They don't know what's going on. And again, a lot of times, this stuff can get passed around because if you have one of the vaping devices, it doesn't burn out like a cigarette. You can use that and pass it around.
Oh,
get a long lifespan out of that.
Now, again, to show my naivete on this, the circumstances and also the materials. Could these materials for vaping be used to be incorporated for much more serious inhalation of other illicit or illegal drugs?
Wow, again, that's a very good question. We haven't come across that, but just knowing how the device works, I would assume yes. You could definitely tailor it or tweak it a little bit to use it. Yep.
Okay.
For harmful substances.
We have a caller with a question. Caller, quickly, please. I'm almost out of time. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I drive school bus, and we caught a kid vaping on there and wrote him up and kicked him off, and then he got kicked out of school. And there's a lot of that going on, and especially the ball game. After football games and stuff, you see them all over.
Wow.
Going on around here. Yeah.
Sir, I appreciate your call. And, Kit, respond to the person that said he was a bus driver and it's going on the bus.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, right now, we are working under the premise that it is such a widespread problem. It's happening everywhere, honestly. Before school, after school, if kids are walking off campus during lunch. Again, we try to keep it out of our building. We like to think that it doesn't happen here, but again, the reality is there's probably some kids who have them in their cars right now that we haven't caught. And so we are really trying to fight this battle because it is so widespread right now and such a big detriment to our children.
Kit, let me ask you this, and I was very rude, and I didn't mean to be. I forgot to mention your title at Cascia School System. What is it exactly, please?
I am one of the vice principals at Burley High School.
Are we being tough enough? And when I say we, our society. When I was in school, of course, they still circled the wagons at night when I was in high school. But when I was in school, it was an iron hand policy. You didn't do this, you didn't do that for fear of this. And we knew what we could and could not do. Any stepping over the line was absolutely going to mean that you were going to be reprimanded and absolutely have that go on to your home with your parents. Are we being tough enough today?
I would like to think that we are. We, as of now, so the past year and a half, when we really started to understand how big of a problem this is, we haven't had one repeat offender here at the school.
Really?
And again, I don't want to, be so naive as to say they're not doing it still, but we haven't had any repeat offenders. Ours is an automatic suspension out of school, and then again, if you're underage, we notify law enforcement. And so that's spelled out in our parent and student handbook, and we go over it the first day of school when we meet. This is what's going to happen. This is such a problem. So I'd like to think that we are on the educational side. Again, we need to work in conjunction with community and with parents. If we can both work together to fight this, then I think that's really where we're going to make inroads.
Kit, is this problem, I mean, we're talking specifically and especially for right here in this area, but for all you read and you hear about this problem, how big is it across the United States in general?
It's huge. And again, we get things from Education Weekly, all these different education publications, and every single state is talking about how big of an issue this is. And it really is out of control. It's not something that, we have a firm grasp on. It is out of control all over the place. I know my brother's an educator in the state of Washington, and they fight it constantly. Constantly. So everything we hear is that it is a nationwide epidemic.
You know, you do a wonderful job, and I'm very supportive of you and the Cassia County School District and the great people that work there, etc. I urge you, Kit Kanakoa, to come back in the future and let us know how this problem is or its diminishment, whatever. But keep in touch with us, please.
Definitely will. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
All right, sir. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
You likewise. Thank you.
All right. Boy, I tell you what, this vaping problem, you know, I was going into a store the other day in Twin Falls, and a couple of kids, they could not have been 16 years of age, and kind of the punkish attitude, and they're blocking the doorway. They're literally blocking the doorway, standing there like they're Joe Cool out of a movie with those vaping machines or whatever you call those things. And I said, excuse me, and grudgingly one finally moved a little bit so I could go into the establishment. That doesn't set with my German temper. Cassia County School Days, of course, sponsored by A Child's World at 1308 Overland in Burley. All the clothing for the newborns and the furniture and the games, the puzzles, the toys, everything. It's a family store at A Child's World in Burley. In just a moment, we're going to have another good friend of ours on the air, and that's going to be Jeff over at Lee's Furniture. Stand by for that. Want to remind you at Four Paws Bed and Bath, my goodness sakes, every year they have a great big Halloween party for your pets. Oh, it's Halloween happenings. Dress your pet up in a funny costume or whatever, your dogs, your kitty cats, everything. Take them over there. They're going to have free pictures with your pet. They're going to have great food and prizes and a costume parade at 12 noon. That ought to be fun. Four Paws annual Halloween party this Saturday, October 20th from 11 to 2 at 370 West, 200 South of Rupert. And for more information, call them at 438-4444. Going to be a lot of fun over at Four Paws with their big Halloween happening. Right now, let's go to the phone line. He has been gone for a long time. I think he's now working for the government as a secret agent, I think. Jeff over at Lee's Furniture, Floors and More. How are you?
Hey, good, Zeb. Great to be here with you today.
What's happened? You've been out of the country.
Yeah, my daughter, we went to visit her, and anyway, it was a great experience, and so we were over in England for a couple of days seeing her and our son-in-law.
Jolly old England, my goodness sakes. Tell me one short question, one short answer. How's the food?
That's interesting. The breakfasts are great, but I kind of prefer American food for the lunch and the dinner.
Oh, okay. Well, that sums it up right there. When you went, I knew right away there was a problem. Hey, there's never a problem with a great big harvest sale going on at Lee's Furniture, Floors and More. Tell us about it.
Well, Zeb, actually, we have a number of things happening right now, and so thank you for asking. Firstly, all of our sofas, love seats, recliners, sectionals, motion furniture is all on sale, 40% off. And in addition to that, we are running a fantastic special. We only do this a couple of times a year, 48 months interest-free.
Wow.
So you can get the significant savings and the special terms for the financing if one chooses to use it. So what that means is you can purchase Sofa Love sets for as little as $699, sectionals for $799, lift chairs, recliners. It is football season. Anyway, fantastic savings to get the significant discount and to get that interest-free. So it's a great opportunity there.
Wow. I mean, it sounds like when you come back, the sheriff's back in town. We're going to save everybody money. What else is cooking over there?
You know, it doesn't stop there. We actually have it. Now, Zeb, this is real. We have pocketed coil mattresses, queen size, so these are deluxe mattresses. We're closing out some of last year's models with the covers, and we're introducing a new style as well, but these are all pocketed coil queen size mattresses, $299. There's a lot of people this time of year that need a new mattress for a guest room, or maybe they're shuffling rooms for the wintertime. You know, companies coming to visit. Really, these are fantastic mattresses. They're worth checking out. And again, it doesn't stop there. We're going to run this one more time this year. Right now, you can come in and carpet your entire home for as little as $69 a month. That's installed new padding, new carpet, up to 115 yards, which rarely do we ever come across a home that we need to do more carpet than that.
Wow.
You can do that for $69 a month, interest-free.
Wow. I mean, especially this time of the year, because Aunt Martha and Uncle Fred and Grammy and Grampy are coming over for Thanksgiving. Get it done now, right?
Yeah, it's so true. And if you want to have it done in time for the holidays, we still do have some openings. We use a number of installers, and we have fantastic installers. And so if you want to have this done, I recommend that you come in, take advantage of the special pricing that we have in stock on our floor covering right now. The same goes for the hard surface, meaning the luxury vinyl planks or tile or vinyl. You can get it installed in time for the holidays, so when a company comes in for Thanksgiving, for Christmas, you can have it installed, put the Christmas tree up, and not have to worry about it.
You're the man, and you've got a great staff over there, too. At Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More. Tell us quickly about all the great people and the hours that you're open.
Yeah, come in and ask for LeGrand, Morgan, Hillary, Bob, Darren, Juan, myself. Would love to help you. We do have a 110% price guarantee, which means that we guarantee the lowest price, and you're going to get the best service. We're here Monday through Friday till 6 p.m. and Saturday till 5 p.m.
There you go. Great guy. Glad to have him back from jolly old England. And that's Jeff over at Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More, 459 Overland and Burley. Jeff, God bless you, man. Thanks.
Thanks, Ed, for having us.
Have a great day. Thank you. Really, really nice people. Hey, before we send it back over to Wheels at our main studio, I want to remind you that Speaker of the House and District 27 State Representative Scott Bedke urges you to go vote. And this election, very important. Not only do we have Propositions 1 and 2 to really know and understand and vote for, but also Brad Little for governor. And Scott urges you to please be patriotic. Go to the polls and vote. Scott's been the Speaker of the House since 2012, and he absolutely knows what he's talking about. He urges all of us to be patriots. Vote on November 6th. I bit my tongue. Scott Bedke, Speaker of the House and District 27 Representative, paid for by Scott Bedke, District 27 Representative. Thank you very much. Also, real quick, another gentleman. This is one of the nicest people in our legislature, and he's the District 25 state senator, and that's Jim Patrick. Known Jim for a long, long time, and he wants to thank all the people that voted for him to stay at that District 25 Senate post. He's a farmer and a rancher, and he's been a long time, all his life, in agriculture. He knows Idaho, and he knows what makes it tick, and he wants to continue keep serving you, Jim Patrick, and he wants everybody to get out and vote on November 6th. For studying Propositions 1 and 2, please know what you're voting for. Vote November 6th, paid for by Jim Patrick, District 25 Senator. Right now, we're going to send it back over to our main studios. Old Wheels is ready to carry the ball. We'll be back in about 3 minutes.
And now, back to Zeb at the Ranch on AM 1230 KBAR. To reach Zeb, call 436-2244 or toll free 1-866-927-4587. And now, here is Zeb Bell.
And don't forget, vote yes on Prop 1. Save Idaho horse racing and help our economy grow. Voting yes on Prop 1 will bring back and create hundreds of good-paying jobs and help the growth of Idaho's equine-related businesses. It's time right now to return the horse industry of Idaho to being one of our leading agricultural businesses. Please don't be swayed by the misrepresentations and the false statements. Vote yes on Prop 1, November 6th, paid for by the Committee to Save Idaho Horse Racing, Create Jobs, and Fund Public Schools. I have an opportunity right now to visit with a friend that has been on my program many, many times in the past. She is the most knowledgeable, as far as I'm concerned, about what was occurring years ago with Obamacare and all the insidious cutbacks on our healthcare system. And I'd like to say a good morning to my friend, Dr. Elena George. How are you?
I'm fine, Zeb. Thank you so much for having me back on.
You know, you are so well respected by my wife and I. You're a straight shooter, and I am really concerned, and tell me if I'm right or wrong, that if the Democrats regain power, not only with this midterm election, but God help us in 2020, we are absolutely going to be forced into a single-payer atmosphere of insurance, and our American health and insurance coverage is going to go down the drain. How wrong am I?
I think you're absolutely right. They just keep rebranding single-payer. First it was Obamacare, now they're trying to call it Medicare for all. But actually it's the same thing, that this keeps coming around. And it's not going to be what people want it to be. It's going to be prohibitively expensive. They've already tried this in Vermont. They didn't even get it off the ground in California because it was pricing everybody out. It's going to bankrupt the government if they try to really implement it. And for those people who are purists and think the government will control this, I think I have news for you, because in my opinion, this is going to be outsourced to the insurance companies as the Medicare Advantage, which they have running now, which costs seniors more money, which puts money in the pocket of the insurance companies. But if they do Medicare for all, they become the only game in town. Imagine the windfall they're going to have for the government to pay them to administer Medicare. It's a joke, and it's not going to be any cheaper, and you're not going to get access to quality health care, just like it is now, but worse.
Dr. George, I'm a senior citizen. I'm an old man right now, and I'm very concerned that we're looking at almost the convergence upon a hemlock society in this country, to where with the Democrats and the cutbacks and possibly Medicare for all, single payer, etc., cut back on how you see doctors and for what purpose, that we're almost going to see, like I mentioned, a hemlock society. Just go die and get out of the way. How far away from the truth am I?
I have some bad news to report to you, that we're already there. If you're in the Medicare system, let's go back to the Affordable Care Act. When they made this law, they gave money not for medical education, but to train more nurses. And when they finally did add money for doctors, it was for doctors who are hospice doctors. So they're spending money on hospice. They'll pay doctors now in Medicare to talk about end-of-life decisions, but you might not get money for a hip replacement, but you'll be able to talk to the patient about hospice and, a living will, which is ridiculous.
Oh, my.
And that's where they're putting their focus. I mean, you've lived a good life, you should be happy, and just, take one for the team. I hate to put it that way, but that's exactly what they would like. And now we have laws in certain states where euthanasia is legal. So you can kind of see the writing on the wall. If it's a big-ticket item and you're a senior, then they're going to want to make you comfortable. And I have news for you, because once the seniors get into that conveyor belt, they're coming for the young people, children with catastrophic illnesses. Look at what happened in England with the child who had the genetic disorder.
Right.
They basically withdrew care from him.
Right.
And it was part of their system. We can only look at them to see what they want to do to us here.
Whereabouts on the train tracks are we right now? Are we ready to run over that cliff, or is there still time to look for an alternative source and turn this train around?
Oh, there's absolutely time. Thank goodness the government got rid of the mandate. So now you don't have to be forced into buying a product that you can't afford, and you can start looking at the patient consumer-based health care. That's growing leaps and bounds, where independent doctors across the country are offering direct financial arrangements with their patients, something called direct primary care. I think I've spoken to you about it on your show before, where you pay a flat fee. And honestly, seniors might be able to jump in on that bandwagon as well. If you're paying $60 a month, which is a lot cheaper than Medicare Advantage, by the way, that could be up to $200 or so, you can be taken care of in that doctor's office for everything that goes on for that $160. That means EKGs, blood work, chest x-rays, the doctor visit, and they even dispense medication. So it's a much cheaper avenue, a much cheaper alternative out there, and people need to start looking to see if insurance is the best way for them to go, or if they need to use an alternative approach. I'm not a big fan of one-size-fits-all for anybody. So right. I know there are people out there who love their Medicare, love their Obamacare. Go for it. But for the people who want an option, whom it doesn't work for, you can do what I just spoke about. You can join a Christian sharing ministry. I belong to Liberty Health Share for full disclosure, because I don't want to be in an insurance market where I'm being priced out and I get denied. I'm not interested in that. And so when you pool your resources and you as the patient control your own pocketbook, amazing things happen. You can leave the country and do medical tourism. You can find a doctor who specializes in integrative treatment. No one's telling you no because it's your money. That's where the power lies. And to me, that's where the power, the pressure to this system that exists now will really be exerted when people stop buying it, stop paying into it, withdraw your consent, withdraw your money, then the system has to start paying attention to you.
You know, in the opening paragraph of the information sheets of having you on the air this morning, the first sentence just set me back on my heels. It said, quote, a recent Pew study concluded that 60% of Americans believe that the government should be responsible for providing health care coverage. You know, this is what bothers me and scares me, Dr. George, that the increase of thinking the government is going to be the parent. They're going to take care of you. They're going to feed you. They're going to house you. They're going to provide health insurance. The government does it all. But the American taxpayer like you and me, we're footing the bill. And I've had enough.
I know you have. But, you know, in the next sentence in my blog, I talk about the methodology of that poll. Imagine they tried to extrapolate 320 million people, and they're basing that poll on 1,741 respondents.
Yeah.
1,741 people do not speak for me or you. And I need your listeners to understand that. They may put this on the Internet as if it's... But 1,700 people who are pro-single payer, and they ask a question a certain way to get the answer that they want.
That's right.
It's like to try to make people think it's everybody that wants it, and it's not.
Absolutely.
So really, people need to look at these polls with a grain of salt. They want to get you to think a certain way so you'll get in line. If your sixth sense tells you it's not working for me, then you better pull your, you have the power to say no at this point.
Let me ask you this, and I'm kind of leaning a little bit off subject here, but I'm going to tie it all together. We are looking at a gentleman, and I use the term loosely, in Florida that is running for governor, and I'm really concerned about this man, very concerned about this man, because he is really pushing for single-payer health care, and he's being financed by George Soros and Tom Steyer, and he's come right out and said, I want single-payer for all the people. How does someone like him get this kind of power to maybe take over the governor's seat in one of the large states like Florida?
Well, you said a mouthful. He's getting his money from the supreme left-wing sources, and the money that he's raised is not coming from grassroots. It's coming exactly from the people you just described. And this is it's the same thing here in Georgia. We have somebody running for governor who looks the part, who says the right things, but believes exactly what Mr. Gillum believes. They want single payer. They want Medicare for all. They want to have people basically take money from people to pay into the government so they can divvy it up. This is socialism 101, and it's coming in different forms, but I think actually people are being unmasked. Because they're losing, now they're getting to talk about violence and getting in other people's faces, because people don't want that. No one wants to live like the Venezuelans are or do. They had an excellent economy. Now look at them. And that's exactly what would happen here, to be honest.
Yeah.
And we have to take our power back and not be cowed into being bullied into working against our own interests. I have no interest in falling in line with anybody, whether that's medication or medicine or as an American citizen. We have rights. We need to take them back. And these guys are totalitarian. They want to take your rights. They want to tell you what's best for you, what you should want, how you should think. I'm really opposed to that. I hope the Floridians wake up to that fact, too.
I hope so, too. Dr. George, in the time remaining, and I wished I had more time with you. I've got a whole litany of things I wanted to ask you. But I want to talk about doctors and nurses and research. And the more that they lean, they being the Democrats and the liberals, lean towards a single-payer coverage, the more I'm concerned about people not being able to see their doctors, not being able to get into a specialist, people not going into the medical profession to help enhance more research. Are my my concerns founded, or am I just kind of pie in the sky on this?
No, I think you're actually on point. You know, I don't know if you've seen studies and articles about a doctor shortage. They're talking about $130,000 doctor shortage by 2025.
Wow.
Part of that is because of what the government's done. Obamacare exacerbated it by not paying for medical education, but this all started back in 1997 with the Balanced Budget Act, where Congress withheld funds for medical education. And when that happened, the residency programs, the training for physicians dried up. And there are doctors, it's tragic actually, people who graduate from medical school, pass the first part of the boards, are sitting out there unable to practice medicine because they cannot get a residency. You have to do 1 year of residency in order to be licensed to practice medicine in the U.S.
Wow.
These people are baristas, they're sitting doing something else, and they're dying to be out on the front line in the rural areas, in places that are underserved, and they're being thwarted. And that's because the government is deciding winners and losers. And at this point, they want single payer. That's what it's been driven towards. Medicare, as an example, is the template, frankly, for socialized medicine. And all it's done is gotten more expensive, and people have less choice. They're now talking about how they deny and push back claims, and it's driving doctors out of business, and it's making patients wait longer for care. It's not sustainable. We need to have the power of the purse back with the patient and the power to choose medical treatment with the patient and the doctor, period.
Dr. George, I'm almost, like I said, I'm short on time, but I've got to get this question into you. It's kind of a two-part question. What about the high cost of prescription drugs and the government with Trump? Are we seeing anything better from the Obama administration to the Donald Trump administration? And do we have people working for us, the citizens and the consumers of prescription drugs, to get these prices down?
I think the government administration is doing some good work. They just passed something that got rid of the gag rule, that where, believe it or not, the pharmacies could not talk to a patient and tell them there was a cheaper alternative than the prescription. Like if you present a prescription, they weren't allowed to tell you that, hey, there's a generic that's cheaper than this.
Oh my.
That's now gone, and now the pharmacists can tell people with full disclosure. The big pharma has to put their prices and have to list them on these commercials, so people can now become consumers. You can't be, a knowledgeable consumer if you don't know what the prices are. And hopefully this is the beginning of an onslaught, or an avalanche, I should say, of price transparency. The next line should be the hospitals. They need to start listing their prices for services and procedures so people understand, hey, a facility fee, what's that? It's just something they just tack on, has nothing to do with the treatment. Like you're paying for use of the CT, which they already own, and they make that couple $1,000s right off the bat. So it's a completely artificial system. It's been ingrained, and they've coerced people into buying something and using something they don't need because they're told, hey, you'll die if you don't have insurance. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy at this point.
I am so concerned of one other thing, and I'll have you respond quickly, that right now in this information sheet you sent me, we have 4 major insurance companies which basically are controlling the marketplace. Is that situation going to get any better or worse?
I'm hoping that pendulum will start swinging. Now that the government's gotten rid of the mandate and now they're opening up catastrophic plans again, hopefully these insurance companies will, one, start offering cheaper plans for people who don't want a cafeteria coverage, just the minimum for catastrophic, and then hopefully that'll engage new companies to come back online so they can be competition. Because they really did shut down competition. That was the whole point of this. It became a monopoly, and it was too big to fail. The big ones Pac-Man the little ones, and now they're trying to go further. So I think Cigna purchased CVS or something like that. Imagine this silo where from the time you buy your insurance plan, they're going to tell you what a pharmacy to go to. They're going to be able to control the prices through the pharmacy benefit management company. it's a cartel, and it needs to be broken up, and hopefully this will be the beginning of the end of that.
Absolutely. Dr. Elena George, I consider her to be a great friend of this program. I know that a lot of people would like to learn more about you and your thoughts on medicine. How can people follow you, please?
You can go to my website, drelenageorge.com, D-R-E-L-A-I-N-A, George like the man's name.com. Links to everything I spoke about are on there, including my blogs. I'm also starting a new radio show called Living in the Solution, and that's going to be about what we talked about, empowerment, so people can be informed and make conscious decisions about their life and especially their health care choices.
I am honored that you would come back on my program numerous times. I hope you will in the future. I have the utmost respect for you. Dr. Elena George, thank you so much.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. I look forward to coming back again.
Thank you. I really like that lady, and she's straightforward, a real straight shooter on all the issues regarding our medicine, our pharmaceuticals, everything. Thank you, Dr. Elena George. Wow. I got to get a weather forecast on right now. Wheels is saying, Zeb, look at the clock. Okay. Scarrows Meats, 331 North Road, Jerome, with Don Scarrow and his crew. Really, really good people. Check out all the delicious meats at their website, www.scarrowsmeats.com. Whoa! I mean the marinated pork ribs. Have you had those marinated pork ribs? Wow! Good. Tri-tips, prime ribs, all the delicious bacons and breakfast sausages and bratwurst. I love bratwurst. Absolutely phenomenal. Scarrows Meats, 331 North Road, Jerome. The number to call, 324-7657. Right now, here's Gina with the weather.
Looks like another fine day in the valley as we make our way through the work week. Here's a look at your weather forecast. Expecting sunny skies and a high of 66. Winds are going to be light and variable out of the west, right around 6 miles an hour. Tonight, nice and clear with a low of 34. Tomorrow, as we kick off the weekend, sunny skies, high of 67. Winds out of the south-southwest, right around 6 miles an hour. Clear skies for Friday night with a low of 33. Saturday, going to be the best day. Expecting sunny skies, high of 70, overnight low of 38. Sunday, mostly sunny skies with a high of 68. Now, Sunday evening, clouds are going to be rolling in, expecting a low of 41. And for Monday, we do have a 20% chance of showers in the morning, partly sunny skies with a high of 67. That could carry over for Monday night as well, with a low right around 38. That's a look at your weather forecast for Zeb at the Ranch.
Thank you, Gina. Weather brought to you by Scarrows Meats, Don and the crew, 331 North Road, Jerome. Oh, my goodness, delicious meats. And they are changing the way we eat, one delicious bite at a time at Scarrows Meats. Little note here, I want to mention again, and I've hit this a couple of times already this week, that next week on the 25th, Thursday the 25th, the 2018 Republican bus tour for the state candidates will be going through this area, and they're going to be, in Rupert, the E Street Deli. The paper fell, that's why I hesitated. They're going to be in Rupert at the E Street Deli, east side of the square, from 5:30 to 6 on Thursday the 25th. And if you'd come by and visit with them, ask questions, and find out more, the 2018 Republican bus tour for the state candidates. Don't forget that. Want to also mention, we need to keep this lady and her values in the Idaho House of Representatives, seat 24B. Linda Wright Hartgen is a compassionate conservative that believes in our Second Amendment and is pro-life, and above all, she has common sense. With Representative Linda Wright Hartgen, we have a person that's a problem solver with integrity. Vote November 6th for Linda Wright Hartgen for the House seat 24B. We need her values. Paid for by Elect Wright Hartgen Committee, Rich Stivers, Chairman. There you go. Wow, what a week we've had. A lot of fun with a lot of great people, and we're going to do the same thing Monday. I got to tell you that Monday we're going to have Richard Manning in Washington, D.C. We're going to have a lady that is really working hard to help senior citizens all throughout the southern Idaho area, Day Egesketha. Then we're going to be having the Pacific Legal Foundation on, and then meteorologist Dr. Tim Ball. So don't miss all the good things that are coming up on Monday's program. Want to mention real quickly about our major sponsor, and that's your Magic Valley Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. They are having a great big fall tire sale. All the tires, all the sizes, all the different tread designs for the cars, the pickups, the SUVs, your trailers, whatever. They've got tires on sale. Stop in and check it out because, man, they've got the tires for you and your safe driving. Along with the absolute very best brake service with highly trained brake technicians, front-end alignment, shocks and struts, batteries. Oh, it's all there. With the best of service at all 7 locations. Lane in Rupert, Dave on Blue Lakes and Twin, Mike in Buell, Mike in Jerome, the Twist family in Paul, Daniel on Poline in Twin Falls, and Randy, my buddy on Overland in Burley. Your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. We are going to wrap it up and put it back in the box for this week. I sincerely, and I mean this, appreciate my audience. Don't forget, next week on Thursday is going to be our lunch bunch at Denny's, America's Diner, for our Halloween costume contest. And we want to thank our prize donors, Stotz Equipment Company, along with Lee's Furniture and Tires West, Les Schwab. Thank you very much. All that's going to be next Thursday. Don't miss it at 11:30. Until next Monday, however, we say God bless, have a safe weekend, enjoy some beautiful fall weather. Zeb at the Ranch, where we end the program saying the way things were are the way things ought to be, and the world needs more cowboys. Have a great weekend.